Hi, everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing? You guys doing okay? Make sure that I'm up here on the YouTube. If I can get some thumbs up, you guys, that would be lovely. Hold on. Let me wait for this thing to load. Oh, I got a super chat. Let me see. Tina, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So how's everybody doing? Sharon and Terry, I see T-Barb. I see Cherry, Path, Karen, Rhonda, Dave. Let me see, Tina, Ruby, Donna, hello, Selfish Wing, Desiree, Patricia, Cardamom C. Hey, Carol. Hi, the other Carol Jaggy, Carol Gallagher and Carol Jaggy. Hi. Sammy B, the Square Peg, Patricia, Sweet Darling Lulu, J Cat Lady. Hi, Sharon. Sharon Fort, Millie. Hi. Let me see. Hi, Kathy W. Christina Brown. Oh, Pam, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Let me see. Suzanne, Pauline. Let's see. Sabrina, hello. Hi, Renee and Alana. Let me see. Roses and Bees. Hi. Hi, Never Again. And Dreamweaver. Linda. Let's see. Christina Brown. I think I said hello to you already. The chat's moving by really quick on my end, you guys. I'm so sorry. GPGB. If I miss anyone, I'm sorry. Rachel Wyatt. Lotus Dancer. Debbie. Teresa Harper. Hi. Janine Adams. Hello. Grandmere D. Dreamweaver. Sharon Sipe. Annie. Hello. Patricia Franzino, hi. Carol Ann Skog, Mary Lou. Let's see. The Square Peg, hello. Hi, Kelly. Kelly Lord. And Sharon, Pauline, Orchid Lily. Hi, Jack. Sharon Sipe, Wendy K. I missed Wendy's comment. Hold on. The chat's just flying by on my end. Sorry. Oh, thank you so much, Wendy K. Yes, I adore Karen. She's an incredible person. I love her products. I found her a while back when I ordered the teacups and the charm mats from her. And I wouldn't be promoting her products or her as a reader on my channel if I hadn't felt it was good product, good teaching from my view. She meets all of my standards, and I think she's an incredible person and a fountain of information. So I would love to have her on again because I personally learn so much from her. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys that are here have purchased some of her products. And she does have courses and everything, but it's also very nice to go to her channel and see how she does it. You know, I'm one of those people where I can read a book and study and study and study and learn, but I see great value and a lot of benefit from actually watching somebody do it. So I look forward to having her on again. So I'm so happy to hear that you enjoyed it. Hey, Colin G. Big hugs to you, CG. Let's see. Very hands-on, Karen, very hands-on. And I struggle with a lot of the like the charm mats and everything. So I was, hey Autumn, how are you, my dear? I was able to get, I watch her videos, and when she does lives, if you haven't already, please check out her channel. All of her information is always linked in every single description box of every video. But I've learned so much from her, especially when I watch her do the charms with the mat. Just how she said, just like you're writing a sentence, you know? And I get so stuck on particulars that I forget to go back and put it all together. I love her voice too, Karen. I love her voice too. So I had ordered one of the luster teacups from her, and I just received the email last night that it had gotten here to Los Angeles. And it's in customs. So I should have it hopefully this week or next, depending on how long customs takes. And she had put in some goodies in there for me as well. So I would be more than happy to share those with you guys if you'd be interested. But I'm really looking forward to that parcel coming in. Hey, oh my gosh, I'm going to so butcher your name. Dianen. Last night was a blast. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. And I missed, did I say thank you to Pam? Thank you, Pam. Thank you. So yeah. So how's everybody holding up today? Because I was watching the trial and I was chit-chatting with Johnny and Jenny on text. And I could not believe how Mitch McConnell was speaking out of both sides of his mouth. Like both sides of his mouth, you know, and Johnny had mentioned something and I was like, dude, this is one of those days where I wish I was Satan himself so that I could take the pleasure of torturing him and Trump and Graham and Cruz and Howley and Giuliani and everybody else in the fiery pits of hell for all eternity. Like I went there. I went there in my head. I was so pissed. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. So that's where I was today. I was livid, like fire breathing, angry, just very, very, very angry. So I thought I would go through today and review some of the grand tableaus because I had messed up quite a few readings. So I'm going to start. You guys know I keep a notebook. Let me see, where is it? It's this one right here. Okay, this is the grand tableau. Let me see if you guys can see this. This is the date that I did this read, 9/28 of 2020. It was for 6 months. So it went from September through March of 2021. And that was, I screwed this up here too, 2021. And here's the chart. Okay. You guys know I keep notes. I write everything down for record keeping so I can always go back and review. This is not necessary. I do this for my own purposes because I like to keep records so that I can go back and see where I screwed up if I screw up. For me, this works best because it's still a good way to keep record, keep track, and learn. You know, for me, it's one of those things where like, okay, you messed up a reading. That's fine. Go back and review. Where did you get it wrong? And that's how I learn. So I'm going to rebuild this tableau for you guys. And I'm going to compare it to the one I just did a couple of days ago, or was it last month or a week or two ago? And we're going to see where I screwed that one up. This one I did not screw up. It was the most recent one that I did on Trump that I screwed up. And I'll show you where. So I was able to find that today in my review. Okay. So, okay. And this is, you know, that's why I try to be so diligent on keeping notes or trying to remember my reads, so that I can always go back and look you know, and see what did I miss? Where did I mess up? Where did I forget to look? What was it trying to say? You know, and it's with those sort of things that it helps me to where it helps me to figure out where else I can improve, you know. Like I said, no, you know, nobody has to do this. It's not a requirement. It's just something that I had found benefit in doing. So let's see here. And hopefully the glare is not too much. Okay. 21, 35, 18. Sorry, you guys, I'm not looking at the chat right now because I'm trying to rebuild the tableau. Okay. $17. And $6. I may have to move this a little bit. Okay, 5. $30. $8. $14. Move this down here. I might have to move this up even more. 1 second, you guys. Oh, thank you, Sue. Thank you. I'm sorry if I miss any super chats, you guys. I'm over here trying to rebuild the tableau. So let me see here. Where's 27? $15. Okay, so 13. 26. 2. 10. Oh, 11. 10. House, snake, mountain, anchor, sun. I almost missed the sun. Hold on. So this goes up here. Okay. And tower was over here. Garden was right next to it. Okay. 12. Okay. And then we have 33. We have 22 here. And then 3 is right here. 16. 32. 34. And then 36. 25. 24 and 20. Okay, let me try to see if I can move this up. If it'll fit better into frame. Too far up. Okay, that's gonna work. Okay. Oh, it's still not catching the line of fade. Okay, well, I'll tell you. I'll put the line of fade up here. It usually goes on the bottom, but I'll put it up here for just the sake of the video, and it's still not seeing it. Goodness. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's see if it'll catch it this way. That's a little bit better. Okay, so this was September 29th, 2020 when I threw this tableau. I was trying to go out 6 months, so we were going from September to March. Okay, this row right here, this top row right here is usually down here, but I'm putting it up here for the sake of the video because the camera's not picking it up. Okay, so he lands down here at the very bottom of the tableau, and this was his line for the present here in the tableau. I was saying that there was something very important that was going to be coming out in regards to stuff that he had been blocking in regards to financial papers, financial records. I believe it was within a week after this tableau was thrown was when the New York Times article had come out about his taxes, that he had only paid like $750 for a few years in taxes. Okay. Which makes sense because this is his present line at that time, which would be the most immediate. Another thing that we had discussed, there was the whole issue with him getting COVID. He's down here. He doesn't have the tree around him at all. The tree is way up here from him. And I had said when I read this line, lying about an illness to manipulate the media. Okay. The only way to get him to talk to the tree is to follow this diagonal. So there's something here with his health that was perhaps undetectable in regards to him. Okay. And then that's when he caught the COVID. But I said it wasn't whatever this health issue was that they were saying that he had was not going to affect him because he had the cross right below his feet. And he had the clover right next to him. And I had said, because of that, whatever it is, he suffers very briefly. Well, within 3 days, he was out of the hospital. I did not see a hospital around him either. Tower's over here, tree is way over there. They're not close to each other. Had they been close, I would say, okay, hospital or tree and ship, something like an ambulance or a vehicle that would take you, that has to do with health. Okay. There was that. And then the one thing that really caught my eye in this tableau that I remember was this line right here. And this was talking about violence and weapons around a building here, an official government building that's for the public. Right below it, you have the crossroads. This was an instance where there was multiples of this incident right above it here with the tower, where there was more than one. And that's when we started to see a bunch of the militia groups We had the ones in Michigan that were plotting to kidnap a woman. Up here with the woman, she's in the House of Cross. They were plotting to kidnap a woman. I believe it was the mayor or the governor. Put her on trial and execute her. That plot was thwarted by FBI. You have Scythe in the House of Fox. The Scythe is in the House of Fox. Someone that's undercover, that is quite friendly and loyal, that's dangerous and had access to this network. That group of people intervened and kind of squashed that plot and caught everybody in it. But I said that there would be multiples of this, and we had seen it building and building and building with a bunch of these militia groups. Well, here's September, October, November, December. Look at the column for January right here. Tower lands in the column for January. And here's that line again. So this is another crucial point that I missed when I was reading this tableau. I was seeing this, but I was not paying attention to this column, which was saying, yes, there's going to be a few incidents of this, but the most important one happens in January, when you have the insurrection, the group of armed people here going to the government. You got the Storks right over it. The Storks is always a change. It's an improvement. It's always something that is on top of something. Well, what were they trying to do? Overthrow, here with the Storks, overthrow the government. Okay. So there was that. I saw articles of impeachment here with this one and this one. They were not close, but what marries them in between is violence and danger. And the scythe is pointing here to the tower. So there's the articles of impeachment. Okay. Now this is January. This is February. Okay. February, March, I would say. So this line down here, right here, regardless of all the stuff that happened up here, the mobs, the several mobs that were out there, not just at the Capitol, but throughout the United States, and the articles of impeachment here, he clears it down here. Man, clover, birds. This is him on Twitter right here, and all the evidence here with the key, the evidence of everything that he did here on Twitter in regards to what? Look up here, the violence towards the Capitol. There's evidence and documented fact here. But if you follow his line, he clears it this way, if that makes sense. Okay. So that is what I had gotten. And I also had mentioned that he had the mice close to him. With the mice in the tableau, the closer it is, if something is lost or stolen, the better chance you have of retrieving it. Okay. And this way, this line is saying he's going to say that they stole the election from him. He's going to declare himself the winner because he has clover back in the house of man, but the clover goes back to the snake here. Okay, so he's going to declare himself the winner, the win here with the clover, go on Twitter and, you know, that he's going to clear this. Well, what I missed when I had said that, I missed looking up here. Well, why is he declaring himself a winner? What's up here? This right here, the articles of impeachment for what? The violence, the attack here on the Capitol. Now, the vote here, this would have been the vote for what? The impeachment. Right here is the vote. Look at everything that's around it. It's all good cards. Here's the removal here. The decision, he's got the votes. He's got the majority here. The party, even though they're distancing, they're still there. Why? Because of funding. He clears it here with the moon. He clears it here with the stars. He clears it here with the key. Okay, so this tableau was telling me everything that was going on. The mobs here, the articles of impeachment here. This is the articles of impeachment we discussed. I think it was with Jenny and Johnny when they jumped on to help me. So we saw this, but I did miss, what I missed doing was looking. Okay, well, here's the articles of impeachment with the letter and the scythe. These two mirror. Is he going to clear it? Well, you find him, you find the article, you go straight across to the scythe, and then you go down. Yes, he clears it. Right there. It was in my face. And then this line as well, down here, he clears it. These are all super, super, super good cards. And then below him, he had the cross. The closer the cross is, the less suffering you have. And it was followed by the clover, which lessens the blow of the cross. And then it was followed by the ring right next to it and the heart right next to it. And this line was telling us the impeachment is here for this, and he's going to clear it. Does that make sense? Everything was in the original tableau from September, and was looking at boxing this in here, looking at the vote that was the cause of this, the articles of impeachment. Okay, and here it says, it repeats. Again, it's something that's chronic. Articles that are new, that repeats because of violence, from violence to the Capitol, from a rally here. It was all right there. Okay. And I missed it. All I was seeing was people with weapons and guns and, going to public buildings here. And I thought on top of buildings, people on top of buildings. I was thinking like maybe snipers or something. No, this was saying overthrowing the government here, the insurrection. Okay, hold on. Am I buffering for anybody? Because I'm buffering like a mofo over here. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so if I'm buffering, please refresh. So the original tableau from September 23rd, 2020 had it all. I missed a few details. This right here, because I did catch the articles of impeachment, but I didn't go down here and I didn't look at this last line that says, yeah, he clears it. They're going to clear him. The votes are in his favor here. Luck here. Luck here, luck here. It's surrounded by all good cards. He's got the key, the stars, the moon, and the fish in the house of sun. Also, he made payments for people to clear him. So there's that tableau. Now, I had done one more recently, just a few days ago. Let me see if I can find it. The one that I did a tableau for the Senate impeachment trial itself. So now that we've discussed everything was in this tableau, and I missed some key details because I didn't look hard enough. Let's talk about the one I just did. Let me see. So this is the one that I just did February 8th, 2021. Okay, and this one, oh wait, no, this one was Kipper. Hold on. It's the one right before. Okay. February 8th, 21 of this year. And this is the one where I threw the tableau to ask, is he going to be acquitted in the Senate? So let me put this one up so you can see the differences, because the answer was in the first tableau of everything that was happening. I did not need to throw another one. I could have just went back and looked at that one and looked at exactly, found the articles of impeachment and followed that line down like I just showed you guys. Okay. So let me see. Let me do this one now. So I hope that for any of you guys that are in the chat that are studying and learning the Lenormand or the Lennies, the Lenormand, I hope that that was helpful. And like I said, it's not necessary to keep notes. I just, you know, it's not necessary to do this. I just do it because it's a learning tool for me. So I can see, so that I know where to pay attention to next time. You know, not that all tableaus are the same. Each tableau is different. But the same techniques apply. So let me see here. Okie dokie. Sorry if I'm buffering you guys. Please refresh the page because I'm having buffering on my end as well too. I have it open on YouTube Live and then another page with regular YouTube so that I can monitor if I'm going nuts. Well, not me going nuts, but you know what I mean, if the YouTube is going nuts. Okay, so let me look at the heart. 30. 14. And I also want to discuss some reads that I did. Let me see, 14, 17. 36. 22. 22. 13 and 26. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, I am so sorry if it sounded like I was yelling my head off yesterday with Karin. The way that I had my setup, I was a bit far away from the camera, which has the little speaker on it. So I was trying to talk as loud as I could so that the microphone would catch me and I wouldn't have anybody saying, I can't hear you, you know. So if I sounded like I was like going nuts, I was just trying to speak loudly enough here for everybody to be able to hear. So I'm sorry. I went back and I was watching the replay. I was like, oh my God, what are you at a freaking, you know, Woodstock concert? Like, calm down, you know. 6 and then 31. Okay, let me move this up. Has anybody seen Ian McGrath, my brother? Haven't seen him in a while. My big brother, my Irish brother from another mother. I haven't seen him in a bit. I should give him a call, see how he's doing. Make sure he's okay. You guys haven't seen him? I'm gonna have to call him, make sure he's doing all right. Okay, there's house. Ring. Mountain. Man, woman. Okay, then it was, I'm going to put these up here. Bear. Letter. Scythe and coffin. Okay. So, hey, Brandon, how are you? How you doing? So in this tableau, this one was the one from the 8th of this month. Okay. He landed down here in his own house. Woman landed down here in her own house. He's got the weight of this entire thing on top of him. I screwed up by looking up here as the trial. I'm doing great, Brandon. I'm going over, I'm reviewing the Grand Tableau from September of last year and comparing it to the one that I just did a couple of days ago. Because the first tableau had the articles of impeachment in there. And I was just going over some of the things that I missed. And I'm about to show you where I screwed up this tableau. They're not the same at all, Linda. Baronian. Oh, God, I'm going to butcher your last name. I am so sorry. Barorian. They are not the same at all. At all. So he's down here. She's down here. They're both in their own houses. Here's another thing I learned. From Karen while she was in the chat room. When I tell you guys, Karen is a wealth of knowledge, and I highly recommend anybody that's interested in learning tea, learning the Lennies, check out Karen. Because book that I have at all, and I have plenty of books in my bookshelf about the Lennies. Not one book has mentioned that when a character, the querent, either man or woman, lands in their own house, that could signal arrogance. I did not know that. She pointed that out in a live stream when she was with me. He's in his own house. She's in her own house. So that's, in this case, I would read it as arrogance. Where I screwed up this reading, I did this reading for a yes, no to see if he would be convicted in the Senate trial. Where I screwed up is I went up here to the tower for the trial and I boxed it in. Man to writer to tower to coffin. That's the box. Those are the four corners here that close this reading in. Okay? That's where I screwed up. Because this is not the Senate. This is a court. The tower has to do with all institutions. We're talking police departments. We're talking government institutions, courts, the IRS, prisons. This here is university right here, tower with book. This would be like an institution that has books for learning. This would be university. You're looking at all institutions where there's a hierarchy, an up and down structure. Okay. That is where I screwed this one up. This is not talking about his Senate trial at all, because this would be the Senate trial here. This is him in the month of February. At the time of this reading, here, down this column, his present line, it's saying that there's news of the change here about his thievery and him, the insurrection that he tried to steal this way. Okay. The vote would have been the crossroads for the actual vote would have had to been closer to him. Okay. It would have had to be around him, either here or somewhere ahead or immediately close to him, because, okay, simply because this is his present line. That's where I screwed up. If I would have kept in mind, this is his present, this crossroads for the vote to convict had to be close to him, because the closer something is, the more immediate. And that rule applies to the Oh, thank you, Carol. Thank you so much. That rule applies in the grand tableau when you're looking for the significator. Anything around them is immediate. That's their present. Well, look how far away the crossroads is. Okay? So that's one screw up. Articles of impeachment landed in the House of Fate. However, this is not just articles of impeachment. These are financial records. Here, he's got money problems, financial records. There's some sort of an impeachment, but there's prolonged suffering at a trial. You have anchor in the house of coffin. Well, where's the coffin? Right here. And it's around a choice that's needing to be made. Where? At the corpse. Here. So this right here, this top line, what this tableau is wanting, this tableau didn't want to talk about the yes, no vote in the Senate because that was already given to me. I already had that answer. Hold on 1 second, please. Let me see if I can pull it up again. Nope, it's back here. I already had that answer in the tableau from the 23rd of September of last year. That answer was there. This tableau doesn't want to talk about the trial. This tableau is wanting to talk about the legal shit that's about to hit the fan. Why? Because of growing business opportunities and news of a friend and litigation with lawyers at court. Here, problems in the court. So if this is February, this would be March, April, around May, quite possibly, because here there's a trial. And his line of fate is talking about serious financial problems and violations, and he's stuck, prolonged, persistent suffering in a trial. Where? In a court. Here. Okay. He's got Tower in the House of Snake, problems with legal systems and lying to the courts, lying to institutions. Here. And look at all the cards that are around him. He had the mice over his head, worried, anxious, thievery, corruption. Okay. And that's in the house of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. In the house of garden. What's right before the mice? Garden. Stealing from an organization or stealing from campaigns. And he's got multiple legal issues here. What is this? Scythe over the crossroads. Here. Repeat over. And there's multiple issues here. So I see stealing from the campaign, stealing from an organization. I see financial problems here that are in violation. There's also fraud here in his business where they've been stealing down this line right here, stealing from the organization here, either Trump org, Trump campaign, anything, any organization with his name on it is in big trouble, and he's worried about that. But that comes over here. Not right now. He's headed in that direction. Okay. So February, March, April, May. I would say around April, May, because right here, the courts land in the column for May. The fighting starts in March here. Now, there may be some sort of a dispute and also an investigation into the attack on the Capitol here. Investigation into the insurrection. Several trials here. Okay. And new knowledge also, and also new evidence that comes to light down this direction. You have the moon in the house of coffin and coffin in the house of sun. Something in his career where he may have gotten away in the Senate, but if you look here, there's several court cases coming up. These could be state, New York, Georgia, you name a state where that son of a bitch hasn't shit the bed. Okay. His career has ended, but his success is done here. He's got coffin in the house of sun. And even though you got key right under the sun over here. Well, look what's down this column. Creative or something to do with his career that he's kept secret and out of the light is exposed here. This way. It all blows up right here. And it has to do with properties, his family, dealings that his family may have made, because you have house and ring over here, dealings with the family, dealings with property, contracts with Trump org, where they may have been stealing from the public, quite literally, through contracts, 16, 24, 25, 26, that they have kept secret. Contracts in the organization, Trump org, Trump campaign, while he was in office, whatever. It all comes to light. Let me see, February, March, April, May, June. But watch out for June this way. I don't know astrology. I couldn't tell you how to, what an astrological chart would say about that. So I'd be curious to watch some astrologers to see what his stuff is looking like down the road. In that tableau that I did, I used my destroyed Lenormand, which I can't use right now because it won't fit into frame. But in that tableau, man looks that way, woman looks the different direction. Okay, so this is talking about his marriage is not good. They don't see eye to eye. They're looking this way. Okay. Her celebrity is done. She's done. Like, if this is melanoma, that skank, she's done. Significant ending here. Boom, done, kaput. He is heading into some serious problems with his marriage and his family, and also properties that he has contracts with. Okay. There's stuff that he has been blocking. 24, 25. That had to do with either records, results, mail, tests, documents, but they're financial. Those come out. That's his line of fate. Financial documents, articles of impeachment here, prolonged suffering. He's got the cross over his head, and this cluster right below him is not good. Well, he's got the scythe. Let me see. So it would be bear letter scythe here. Okay. So he's very sharp, cutthroat, because he's got the cross. The cross would be right under melanoma. Okay. 36, 35. But his cutthroatness leads him back here to suffering. Okay. And it all has to do with abuses, cover-ups, stealing, looting, lying about stuff that's been going on overseas, quite possibly to do with shady stuff while he was in office that had to do with foreign policy that he did in the shadows. There's going to be problems around that. He's under investigation this way, and he's suffering this way. And he's going to do what he knows how to do best, which is bully and bully and bully and bully and bully and be cutthroat. It does not serve him here because he's surrounded by a cluster of bad. And like I said, in that reading, friendships are distant this way. 24. People have distanced themselves from him. He has no help. He has no help. Okay, so I just wanted to come on here and clear that up very quickly, because I screwed up this tableau. I should not have done this one to answer the yes/no question for the impeachment trial, because this tableau had it all. It had the articles of impeachment right here with letter and scythe that renew and repeat here because of an insurrection here. A small group of people. Well, it wasn't really small. It's a small, actually, let me go over one other little detail here. Child is the Jack of Spades. The whip is the Jack of clubs. Scythe is the Jack of diamonds. That whole cluster is right here. That cluster had what prompted me to say people with weapons, even though it ends all the way over here with garden in the house of stars. What prompted me to say that was because of that cluster of male energy that was very violent with whip and scythe right here. How did they gather? Online, social media, garden in the house of stars, social media, right there. Okay, so I did not have to do this one to see if he was going to be impeached in the Senate, because clearly it's telling you right here. This was his present line at the time of his tableau. Another way that I should have learned was crossroads. Crossroads should have been immediately around him, not this far away, to let him know, to let me know, to signal to me that there is a choice or a decision being made around him. And it's not. He's far from it. Okay. This line right here is telling me there's multiple courts that he's going to be in trouble with this way. Courts that are multiple, big trouble, and then him. Okay. This is not the impeachment. This tableau did not want to talk about the impeachment. It wanted to tell a whole different story. Okay. And I screwed up this read. The answers were here. Articles of impeachment with the mirroring the letter to the scythe. Articles of impeachment. Does he clear it? We'll make the little box. Man to the letter to the scythe, which would be your articles of impeachment, and then mirror that down to him. Stars in the house of lilies. Yes, he clears it. And the line right here, his line, where his present line as he's moving forward, he clears it. It was clover, birds, stars, moon, and fish. He clears it. I did not have to do this. And I did. So I'm going to sit with this one because I just did it briefly that one night. I'm going to sit with this one and review it a little bit longer and see what else I can dig, because this one is talking about his businesses. Financial growth here. And luck in business as well. You got fish in the house of clover in the house of ship. Okay, so it's prosperity and luck in business, not just here, but overseas, right here. If you follow the clover back to the ship, it's over here, and look at all that cluster that's around it. It's not good. So let me put this away. So thanks for you guys sitting with me on that one, because it was bugging me, and after I was watching it, I was sitting there watching the shenanigans today, and I was getting so pissed, and I pulled out the notebook looking at the tableau from the 3rd, and I was like, oh, don't you little crazy person, like, look at the one from the 23rd. And I went and I looked at the one from the 23rd, and then I went and watched our video with Jenny, Johnny, and myself, and I was like, oh my God, it's right there. It says he clears it, you know? So I learned from that. Now, let me show you another read that I misinterpreted, which I learned from today as well. Let me see. Man, YouTube is gaga tonight. I don't know if it's because I'm using Safari or what, but it's just buffer, man. Okay, let me see here. This is another reading that I messed up. And I am a firm believer. Okay. I am a firm believer that the cards are always right. It's the interpretation that may be wrong. Okay. And again, back to what I was saying, that is why I tried to, thank you, Janine. You were, thank you so much. That is why I'm like such a stickler for trying to remember my reads, or keeping notes or making charts, is because this is always going to be right. It's the interpretation that may be off. Okay. So this reading right here was one that I did just a few days ago. Because we had been asking, will he be acquitted? Will he be, or will he be convicted? And I got all those wrong too. So I'm going to have to go back and look at those reads specifically, because I wrote them down, to see where I messed up. But this is the most immediate one that I can remember. And this one was one that I was answering for Jenny. And she wanted to know, will he be acquitted? Well, I said no. And I said no because this line ended with mice. And what this line is saying, here's the house. Here. The fish is prosperity. Exactly, T-Barb, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. Because it ends in a negative, that's why I said no. He will not be acquitted. So the house could be quite literally talking about the House of Representatives and his entourage, those closest to him, his base. The fish is prosperity. It is abundance. It is business. This is the card of an entrepreneur. Okay. But the fish also talks about something that there is a lot of something. So this could be a house that's for sale. This could be a lot of what? Conversations, business conversations, a lot of them. Okay. Well, what follows the fish? It's the mice. The mice takes away from the card before. Okay. So it's saying if this is a lot, well, a lot is missing because the mice takes away, the mice steal. So even though at first glance it ended in a negative and I was so quick to say no, I missed the detail of what this line was saying. The house, the lot of them, the abundance that they need is missing. It's taken away. It's been made small. So even though at first glance it says no, he will not be acquitted, it was actually saying yes. Why? Because this card takes away from the one before. And what's the one before? Abundance, a lot of them, if that makes any sense. So that's the most immediate one off the top of my head that I can remember that I felt the need to come on here and clarify, just for my own sanity, because it's like, exactly, T-Barb, exactly. And sometimes the answer is very direct, yes. Sometimes it's very direct, no. Sometimes, like this spread here, it looked like a no, but it was saying yes. And it was saying yes because they don't have the lot of, they didn't have the abundance. The abundance was missing. You know, so I'm going to play around with these yes, no's. I've been testing simple one card yes, no's because that's quite easy to do. Like that would be a no. This would be a maybe. This would be a maybe. This would definitely be a yes. This would be a maybe. That would be a yes. That would be a no. This would be a maybe. Maybe, definitely no. A yes, yes, maybe, 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 hell no, yes, maybe, hell no, yes. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to deprogram my brain to see if I can nail it down to perhaps one or two cards. 1 to 2. If I want more detail, I'll do the 3. So it's now it's going to come down to me to try to relearn something new or deprogram my brain from the way that I've been doing it for so long. So there's that. Yeah, you do better with just reading the lines with rather than the positive and negatives. Yeah. And another thing here too, in this tableau, this one here, where the vote was for the electoral college. Okay. We look at the votes here. Let me remake this tiny little box. I'm going to take this portion of the tableau and put it here. Hey, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. And that's how I learn. You know, it's like I'm a person that firmly believes that you will never master this or any other tool, because in essence, you will always be a student. You know, there's always something new to learn. So I try to take every opportunity that I can to learn. And if I screw up, I'll be the first one to tell you, oh yeah, by the way, I screwed up, you know? So, you know, I try to keep it 100 with you guys, just because I wouldn't be able to freaking sleep if I screwed something up and try to trick, you know, and not that I try to take credit. That's just gross to me. You know, I don't like puffing smoke up my own rear, but it's just what it is, you know. Stay humble. Stay humble. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to get the scythe now. Okay. Where in the caca is the scythe? Okay, there's scythe. And you know what other reading I had screwed up, which I need to go back through my little book and find, that I just thought of just now? The one from, it was a while ago. That one was a while ago, and I'm going to have to find it in one of my notebooks. The one about Roger Stone, I was like, oh my God, he's going to die, you know, because it was man coffin. Well, I screwed that one up by not looking to see what was after and around the coffin. That's how I screwed that one up. The first clue should have been he was nowhere near the edge of the tableau. Had he been towards the edge of the tableau and it was man coffin with no other way out and nothing below him, then maybe. But he was about 3 columns away from the edge of the tableau and it was man coffin, but he had a whole bunch of stuff underneath. So it wasn't death, because it was, even though the coffin was right next to him, everything around the coffin was good. Do you see what I'm saying? So that was another learning one that I went back and reviewed for myself, and I was like, okay, you know? That's why I like to keep notes, y'all. That's why I like to keep notes. Let me see. Where's number 3? Okay, there's 3. Let's see if I can move this up a little bit. Okay. $16. 32 and 34. Okay, so I just took the last vertical rows out of the tableau and I just recreated it here. Again, here's the insurrection. The attack here, the violence at the Capitol that oversees a community, and also the mob that organized online, the network on social media. It was Garden in the House of Stars. Okay, that's the attack. And what were they trying to do? If you look here at the crossroads and you box this in, it's right here, the Electoral College. The large community of people that votes here, the Electoral College. Okay, what this is also telling me, since this was January, this is now February. And also I was saying after January 6th had happened, because this whole portion, I was having trouble looking And because I was getting so much, and I figured might as well freaking say everything that it could possibly be. Because I remember saying to be careful on roads, bridges, be careful if you have to commute, because there may be people on top of buildings or on top of overpasses here. If I mirror the storks with the um, crossroads here, that there may be smoke in certain areas, smoke in parks. I remember saying that. And this way, roads with cars, okay, significant roads with cars. And that was right after um, the insurrection happened, when all the crazies were like, we're going to do it again, we're going to do it again, we're going to do it again. So I was just putting out that warning. That never came to pass. Okay. But it was difficult to see because Crossroads was right here. So I was seeing multiple of these buildings. Okay. So I was trying to get it from every possible context. And what it was really saying was overthrowing the government for the elections. And also not just the column for January, the column that was this way was also overthrowing the several governments. We had Michigan. There was the phone call to the people in Georgia. So, you know, and then here with the votes again, clear, 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 clear. You know what I mean? So that answer was in the first tableau, and I missed it, even though I had touched on it very briefly with Jenny and Johnny when they were helping me. I said articles of impeachment here. All I had to do was box letter to Scythe to man, and then where does that close off? Here. And I could have gotten my answer right there. He's cleared with the articles of impeachment. So that second tableau, I totally messed it up. I showed you guys where I messed it up. So my apologies for that. But you know what? It's a learning experience. I have my notes. I'll go back and look at it and see what else I can find in that one. Because as a matter of fact, let me see here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay. Where is it? The one, this one here. In this tableau, I had done directionality again because I was using the destroyed kipper. And that was a tip that I had gotten from KARIN. So I tried it out with this one as a little bit of an experiment. The man was right here in this tableau. He was facing this way in that deck. Woman was facing the other way. Okay. So not a good relationship right there with those two, with him and melanoma. Well, if I go here, man, and knight him, he knights up here to birds. Okay. If I use directionality and I'm making him go this way because that's the way the card faces, and I go here, he had a conversation, and that comes under investigation this way, right here. So that may be part of the legal problems that he has, is with the investigations into the phone calls in Georgia, because up here it's showing multiple problems with the courts. Multiple problems with the courts. There's it's not a window because it's him, and here's the courts here with tower. So I go man, writer, where's the tower? Over here. That makes that box, and then I follow it down to where it meets him, coffin. So I'm reading these four. He doesn't win. He doesn't win. It's a serious loss. And then if I look down this column right here, it's tower, child, clouds, and coffin. The child also talks about innocence. So in the courts, his innocence is questioned, and it's not good. It's not good because it knights over here, and you have cross in the house of child. Guilty, not innocent. And then if you follow this line down here, done, dead, his success is done. And everything he covered up comes to light here. So this is February, March, April, May, June, around June. And then the courts are this way. So I'm going to try to do this one, doing the directionality, looking at him this way, and then reading the tableau around and see how that works out. Because I've never tried that, but I'll see how it works. And it'll be my experiment. So and also T-Barb, not just new, but if you look at where the cross landed in that tableau, the cross lands in the house of child. And child is also talking about innocence. So he's not going to be cleared in those cases. There's guilt, punishment, suffering, sacrifice. So if you have coffin, or if you have that card on top of the house of innocence, well, you're not innocent. And then if you follow that column down, it's just nothing but caca. It was what, clouds and coffin. Oh, thank you, Tres Leche. Well, they have no shame, dude. That freaking, the fix was in, I think. Oh, and another thing that I had said in this reading too was I thought people weren't going to show up because, okay, let me take this portion of the tab. Well, let me redo it. Now that I've shown you guys where I screwed up that reading, I'm going to show you something else that I screwed up that I just now remembered. Because like I said, I didn't need to do this. It was already in the first one. And this one wasn't talking about the Senate impeachment trial. This is talking about him now and what's coming down the road. Okay? So just thought I would put that out there again for like the 800th time because I like to repeat myself. Let me see. Clover. Let me show you something else I screwed up. Dog. Whip. Tower. And then moon. Okay. Let's see, heart. Lilies. Fox. Storks. Cross. Crossroad. Child. Wait a minute, I screwed something up. Tree, fish. Oh, rider goes right here. Rider. Clover, rider, dog, whip. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Child and then book. Okay. Then it's okay. Birds. Garden. Mice. Snake. check. Clouds and sun. This is in the line of fate. Clouds and sun. Okay. And then house, ring, mountain, man. And then this. Okay. Alrighty. Where was I going with this? Where I was trying to say I screwed something up. Hold on. Oh, where the votes were going to be shorted. Okay. Well, besides not looking clearly at his line in the present, showing a vote close to him, which should have told me right off the bat, yo, McFly, I'm not talking about the Senate impeachment trial. I'm talking about something totally different. That was number one where I screwed up, where I went down a completely different rabbit hole that didn't need to be gone down to because I overlooked that tiny little detail. Okay. The one about the people not showing up. I got it from this. I was looking at this, the votes. Well, the votes here, I was saying were small. Okay. No. Guilty, vote, innocent. Here. Okay. But that's not what this tableau was for. This tableau didn't want to talk about the Senate impeachment trial. It was talking about what's coming new for him in the courts, because this crossroads was nowhere near him to indicate an immediate trial that was happening. Okay. So that was clue number one that I screwed up. And so because I did not see that, I went ahead with saying people aren't going to show up. Well, where the hell did I get that from? Where does it say that? It doesn't. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that... Yeah, T-Barb. Yep. Yep. And then here with the mice, I was like, oh, they're not going to show up. They're going to go away this way. I saw the votes were small. No, innocent. Innocent. And then here, taking away. But either way, this right here still says, if you box this in right here, and I had a yes, no question, no. Right there. With the clowns. Votes were small. And I was like, aren't going to show up. I totally bombed this tableau. Completely and utterly bombed by not paying attention to that detail right there. And thinking that I had to do a new one where the answers were already clear as day on the first one. Okay. So don't do what I did. Okay. Don't do what I did. If you do a tableau and you set your timeline and you throw that read is good. Keep your notes. Go back because you will find the answer. It is there. So this is him in February. March, April, May, June. Okay. Moving forward. This did not want to talk about impeachment. It was totally different. Okay. So that was another screw up that I had, that people weren't going to show up and this and that and the other. And they distanced themselves because I said, you know, friends are at a distance here, at a distance here, you know, all this stuff. So I was twisting this tableau out of context. But how will we know if it's small or innocent? What's the clue? What do you mean, T-Barb? What do you mean, T-Barb? I'm not a... Because there was another read that I had done, T-Barb, and I have it written in my other notebook, because this notebook right here is solely for grand tableaus. It's how you ask. Okay, so let's just say that I had asked, will Donald Trump be convicted in the Senate? And we pulled a line of 3 and we got this. This would be multiple guilty votes, but ultimately, what's the final point here? Innocent. Small. You have 1 negative, 2 neutrals here. So it's sort of telling you, no, he's not going to be found guilty. He'll be found innocent. Had it been like this, yeah, he's going to be found guilty. And that's something else I overlooked too. There was one spread when my sister was here that we were doing. She was using the tiles. Let me see if I can remember what she got. Hold on. Because we had been reading on it too. And I asked her to, you know, I asked her out just to check me, and she kept getting, no, they're gonna acquit him. They're going to acquit him. And I'll show you what she got. Let me see. Let me put these back. Okay. So she had asked if he would be acquitted. Let me see if I can find the cards. Okay. This one wasn't another read. Where's some? Okay, this was one read. And this was another read. Okay. She had asked if he would be acquitted. This is what she got. That's a clear and present yes. The party is committed to success. This right here is almost like tribalism, because it's membership to this group of people. Okay? This is like a tribal almost. It's a circle. There's unity. There's a ring. It's an agreement, something that is binding you to this. So that was a clear and definite yes. She had asked, will he be found guilty? Will he be convicted? And she got this. This on his face looks like a yes, but it's a no. It's a no. Peace and serenity and wisdom, opportunity here, and here with the child, innocent. So this on its face looks like a yes, but it's actually telling you he's going to be found innocent. You know, so Moose, stop. So and then I had been pulling cards with Jenny and Johnny. I kept getting child. And I was like, and I was stuck on thinking small. No, innocent. And let me show you something else. Hold on, you guys. You guys know the the flashcards that I make, or that I had made. I had to make new ones because mine are all beat up. And this is how I learned. Years ago, I put the numbers on the front. I put the number with the card that it corresponds to, and I put, boom, 4 keywords. And I would drill myself, okay? Well, I think it's time for me to go back and do that because I have started to get so comfortable. For instance, with this, something new, something small, something in the early stages, that I had completely forgotten. Here's number 13 for child. Young, small, new. Look at that. Innocent. So it's time for me to go back here and start reviewing these again, because I get so accustomed to certain a certain way of reading that I tend to get comfortable in that and forget about the foundations. Does that make sense? So time to hit the books tomorrow and freshen up a little bit. So there's that. I wanted to do I had memorized it in less than a day when I first started, mostly because I was watching all of Donna Lay's videos. I binged watched all of her videos for like 3 days straight. And then I made my little flashcards. And so it was very easy to remember, for me at least. So it's time to just set my timer one of these days, take 10 minutes or 10, 15 minutes, do 10 at a time, and then go back to how I did it. And then at the end, just start drilling myself. How long have I been on? Yeah, I keep it simple, T-Barb. I just use keywords. That's all I do. I just use 4 keywords on mine, and that's it. I've been on for 1 hour and 28. Okay. Okay, let me see here. Because I'm wondering. Oh, man. So can you guys give me a second? I'm going to go grab a thing of water because my throat hurts and I've been talking a lot. I'll be right back, you guys. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, guys, I'm back. I had to go down and talk to Peanut. So I got some questions I just thought of. Sorry I was gone for so long. Had to refill my little water here. So let's see. How would I ask how acquitting, I think that's a good way to ask, how will acquitting Trump affect the GOP? How will acquitting Trump affect the GOP? Thank you, Tres Leche. My sister got to play with the tiles, you guys, and she loves them just as much as I do. I love them. It's the best thing in the world. I am so incredibly grateful to Johnny for having gifted these to me because they're just beautiful. Oh, it's going to F him up. It's going to F him up. They have secured. You bought them too, T-Barb? Yeah, she hand makes these. So it might take a little bit for them to get to you. Maybe like a week or so. I think it says on Etsy to give her 1 to 2 weeks for her to produce them. So, and then she ships them out. Oh, hi Amber. So they've secured themselves here to trouble. So if this is being persistent, being stuck, stubborn, having achieved his success here, having acquitted him, having cleared him, brings serious trouble this way and serious troubles here. And then there's this woman. Okay. I do not know who this woman is, so let's find out, because this could be Nancy Pelosi, this could be Kamala Harris, this could be any woman. I don't know who it is. But by clearing him, they've created huge problems here. Okay? So let's see. Okay. I asked, who is this woman? News of his innocence that has been established here, that has been achieved. It's a woman that has to do with them clearing him. Okay, so let me see if I can ask it this way. She's in the house. And she cuts them off from donors. So it could be Pelosi. I asked, who is the woman who brings trouble for the GOP? She's in the house here. She's going to cause them a huge problem with donors. abundance, prosperity. Here. Let me see. I saw the speech today that Nancy Pelosi gave after when Jamie Raskin and the House impeachment managers were at the podium speaking to the press. And Nancy Pelosi came out and she was talking to the press. And someone had asked her, oh, yeah, she was pissed. And she freaking slaughtered Mitch McConnell. Now, mind you, I am not a big fan of Nancy Pelosi. I think she needs to take the gloves off and start swinging. She's too nice. Leave your Catholicism at home. You're here to work. That's my mentality. Okay. But in that speech, they were, in that press briefing, they were asking her if she was going to censure the Republicans. And it sounded to me, it was hard to hear because she had her mask on, but it was hard to hear that she was saying something about we censure people for using the wrong paper. This is not a time to give them a slap on the wrist. So it sounded like she was going to do something to the members of the House. So let's see, hold on. I'm going to ask John, I was on that question too, because she can't block them from their donors. But by what the Republicans just did, they may have blocked themselves from their donors. And there was a new report that came out also that Republicans are bleeding out registered Republicans in a bunch of states because of this whole thing. So to save Trump, they hung themselves basically. And, so let's see. Let me see. Will the Republicans lose donors for acquitting Trump? Will the Republicans lose donors for acquitting Trump? Will the Republicans lose donors? 9,000 members per day on average. They are losing members. Yep. Everybody's running away from the party. All to save a man that was sitting back more than happy to watch them all get slaughtered on freaking TV. Will Republicans lose donors for acquitting Trump? Let me see. I say that they would get isolated. Okay, so we have man, tower, birds. A man in an institution that speaks. So this could be like a Kevin McCarthy type person. And a man is isolated here from speaking. I asked if they would lose donors. I got the fish. That's the donors. But there's still checks in the mail going to the party. Or an abundance that are registered here in the party. But this person here becomes isolated. So, let me ask it this way. I asked for one One, yes or no. Are they going to lose donors for acquitting Trump? Bouquet, that's a positive. I'm going to take that as a yes. Also, with the earlier read, we got fish, letter, garden. That could be an abundance of mail being sent out to their network. So, like flyers in the mail, like, hey, support us, you know? Okay. So this spread here was to ask what happens to them over the next 2 years. Which for entertainment purposes only, I've never tried to do a line of 7 going out that far. Okay. So we got clouds, dogs, clover, fox, central to the reading, sun, fish, and key. So they're going to have problems with loyalist because you're going to be seen as opportunist here. But there's success with money and business this way. This right here, whatever problems they're having, they have an opportunity for significant success. How? By manipulating this way and outsmarting. This is a person that cannot be trusted at all. This is more dangerous than, like, say, dog snake. A dog snake would be like a double talker, a backstabber. This is someone that appears friendly on their face, but they're not, but they're hard to see. Okay. So they're going to continue to say what they have to say to gain loyalty and support here, but they're going to manipulate and defraud people out of money this way. But it shows success with fundraising. Okay. And I think we had asked, I thought we had asked a few weeks ago how the Republicans would do in 2022 in the House. We got not good, they stay in the minority. We asked how the Dems would do, and it showed that they would do good and keep the majority. I asked about the Senate, and it showed in that read that the Republicans stay in the minority. And that the Dems stay, with a small majority. So in 2022, it doesn't look like they pick up seats. Let's see. Oh, I want to ask if Lisa Murkowski is going to leave the Republican Party. There's a good chance she's facing a serious decision. She sees the party as being dead. It's done. It's dead. It's time for her to make a choice. She's at a crossroads right now. She was one of the ones that voted to convict Trump, along with I am so very concerned Susan Collins. And a while back, she had said that she was considering leaving the party. She doesn't care if she gets voted out. But here it's saying she's done. That party is dead. She's not. If this is being social and being part of the network, that ends. Here, multiple endings in this party, and she's facing a serious decision. Here. So there's a chance that she may leave. I asked for one, yes, no, I got stars. So this is hope. This is success and a new direction and guidance. So there's a good chance that she will leave the Republican Party. When is Murkowski up for re-election, you guys? Is that 2022 or 24? Does anybody know? She's in 2022. So let's see if she'll even run. Well, Lisa, because it was Garden, Coffin, Crossroads. So that may be saying she's done with the party. She has a choice before the elections. And it could also be saying she's done with her campaign. Her campaign ends. And then there's the election. So she may not even run. And the question was, will she leave? Well, she can leave if she doesn't run, you know? So let's see. Will Lisa Murkowski run in 2022? Will Lisa Murkowski run for re-election in 2022? Will Lisa Murkowski run for re-election in 2022? No. That's a no. So maybe she leaves the party by not running for it again, because it was Garden, Coffin, Crossroads. She's done with the party. And then there's an election and a choice. And I asked, does she leave? I got the stars. That's a yes. And I just asked, does she run in 2022? That's a no. So she does. It doesn't look like she seeks re-election. She doesn't campaign. But we'll see. We got 2 years. The Alaskans are upset that she voted to convict. Well, I am glad we got the coffin here. Or I'm sorry. We had gotten the cross. The cross is a negative card, but it also says a sacrifice. So she sacrificed. She basically sacrificed her career to do the right thing. And I can respect that. I really can. You know, I really can. Unlike all the other coward bastards that just, I was talking to Johnny and Jenny, and you guys may want to cover your ears if you're sensitive to strong language. So 3, 2, 1. I was telling Johnny today, I was like, the Republicans before used to be in the shadows corruption. Now it's just blatant, unapologetic, fuck you corruption at this point. At this point, you know, and then watching Mitch McConnell try to weasel himself out of everything today. And I'm so glad Nancy Pelosi called him out on it. You know, saying that, well, it's the House's fault because they didn't deliver the papers. Well, motherfucker, she tried to give you the papers and you wouldn't take them, saying that you'll do it after the inauguration. So he assisted Donald Trump, you know, in this whole kangaroo trial that we just had, you know. So I don't know. It's just, it's blatant in your face. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You know, so sorry about the strong language, you guys, but it's just like there's no other. Clarence, it's a middle finger on steroids at this point. You know, And then what blew my mind was that one Republican that came out yesterday about the phone call with what's his face, McCarthy and Donald Trump. And McCarthy was yelling and screaming at Trump. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Turned around the very next day, voted to acquit. And then just a few days later was down in Mar-a-Lago, bending the knee and kissing his ass. Like, how do you sleep at night, dude? You all just were on the verge of being slaughtered while that man was sitting there like, yeah, so what? This is what happens when you don't. Here's your punishment, you know? And it's like, if there would have been a time to send a big fuck you to Donald Trump, it would have been today, you know? And they slithered away like cowards, you know? So, oh my gosh, it was so gross. You know what? That's the only thing I can think of too, Feisty. So let's see. Does Donald Trump have blackmail on Republicans? Does Donald Trump have blackmail on Republicans? He'll stop the flow of funds into the party. There's the finance. The finance will come to the end. And there's the party. Finance. Who's financing the party here? That will end. And if it is blackmail, it may very well be financial. And you don't usually read the Lenny's one by itself. But in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and say Russia. I would need the scythe along here as well to read it as Russia. A power symbol or someone that has power in a position of authority that may be represented by like a scythe or a hook or something. But in this case, since I only did a 3-card spread, bear is a symbol for Russia. So I would say yes, the financing would end, and then there's the party. I just asked who is funding the Republicans. The promises and commitments and contracts for money and business are secret. AJP, it's only a panda bear in this deck, but no, it's bear, not panda bear, not funny bear, not Care Bears. It's just bear. That's it. Oh, cool. My parcel has cleared customs. Now, when is it going to get on the way to the USPS and make its way to my house so I can get my package from Karen? Okay, hold on. So who's funding them? Okay, there's an abundance of contracts and promises here that are secret and quiet, but there's very generous and passionate conversations and meetings and negotiations, okay? There are secret contracts here and also meetings and negotiations about these secret contracts. Also, the birds is traditionally an older pair. So it could be, with this, it's a married couple that may be secret. Because this is a marriage that is secret, or contracts that are secret, and then there's an older couple here. And the money flows very, very generously. T-Bar, we usually get things in order from overseas faster than I get. Okay. So hopefully, because I just got that it cleared customs in Los Angeles. So now it's got to make its way to the postal service and then make its way here. But it looks like I didn't get anything here that says overseas, but I am getting perhaps an older pair here that they negotiate with, that is married, but it's secret, and the money flows very generously. There's nothing here that says overseas. Okay. I'm sure that they're getting, I mean, there's that recording of, what was that guy's name? The old house speaker, that bastard. What was his name? The one that left the party, Rand Paul, no, not Rand Paul. What was that guy's name? That used to be the House Speaker, and he left. Paul Ryan. Thank you. I got it backwards. I said Rand Paul. No, Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan. He's on the record on that phone call, laughing, saying that, that one guy from Orange County that lost his seat to Katie Porter and Donald Trump were in Russia's payroll, and they were all laughing about it. And then they're like, yeah, that doesn't leave this room. They know. Paul Ryan is a disgusting weasel, and I hope Fox News gets his freaking ass sued. Again, who runs the GOP, or who funds the GOP? A very successful family that is contracted, that is promised, that makes agreements with them. They're in agreement with this family here. Okay. What else? Let's see. Will Merrick Garland be confirmed? I've always gotten a yes, but it's going to take a while. I always got lilies with him. So let me see. Will Merrick Garland be confirmed as Attorney General? Will Merrick Garland be confirmed as Attorney General? They're going to drag this thing out. They're going to drag it out. He will be confirmed, but they're going to try to drag it. There's growing distance here, and then this is also transition. And then here's the meetings and the negotiations, the hearings. They're going to drag this thing out. But yes, he does get confirmed. When? I don't know. I didn't ask for timing, but central to the reading is the ship. The ship is card number 3. 3 days, 3 weeks, or March. But this is saying this is going to be slow. Okay. Something that is deeply rooted, that's at a distance, and then there's negotiations. Okay. Long journey. Yep. Let's ask about Letitia, New York, then, Kimberly. Let's see. Will Letitia James convict Donald Trump? That's a yes. Now I'm worried. So the way I asked was, will Letitia James convict Donald Trump? There's that goddamn child again. The results improve, and then there's something new. Results change to innocent. Neutral, positive, neutral, maybe. I asked again, will she convict Donald Trump? Donald Trump is worried about a serious problem. So let me do one card. Yes, no. Will Letitia James indict Donald Trump? Maybe I should put a time on this. Maybe I should put a time on this. Okay. Will Letitia James convict Donald? Not convict. Will she? It would be, would it be conviction or indictment? She would indict, right? Would she indict or convict? She would indict, because then the jury would convict. Okay. Will Letitia James indict Donald Trump this year? How about that? This year. Will Letitia James indict Donald Trump this year? Yep. This year. Okay. Dangerous and sudden decision. There's a little bit of luck here. There's hope. Okay. When? I don't know. Timing is crap for me. Also, there's only been a couple times when I've gotten timing right. The rest of the times I've been freaking way off. Another thing that I noticed, I just remembered just now that I screwed up when I was on that whole going down the rabbit hole thinking people weren't going to show up, and I was trying to get amounts, and I got Sun, which is card 31, Tower, which is card number 19. So I was saying, I don't know, anywhere between 31 and 19 people. Yeah, totally wrong. Totally wrong. Okay, so let's see. Will Cy Vance indict Donald Trump this year? Will Cy Vance? Because in that grand tableau, the second one that I screwed up, the one from the 8th, that shows all sorts of shit hitting the fan in the courts May, June. Okay. So will Cy Vance indict Donald Trump? And that one he ain't getting out of, because he's not found innocent in that one. And the decisions to him are not favorable. It's just a matter of what freaking court is it. Will Cy Vance indict Donald Trump? Anchor, that's a yes. This is not fast. This is slow. Okay? So that's a yes. When will Cy Vance bring an indictment to Trump? When is Cy Vance going to bring an indictment against Trump? When will Cy Vance bring an indictment against Donald Trump? When will Cy Vance bring an indictment against Donald Trump? No timing with that one. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. There's no timing with the cross. Lilies is the 30th of the month or winter. This is winter. It's a long time, not anytime soon. Let's ask about Georgia. Will Georgia bring indictments against Donald Trump? Will Georgia bring indictments against Donald Trump? There's new problems growing there. And his innocence is a freaking hell no on this one. Growing new problems. There's that's growing here that has to do with his innocence that is uncertain. This is saying, to me, this says yes, even though it ends here with clouds. It may cause problems because this thing may have many branches here. Okay. I don't know if it's because, well, they went from this place and then they marched over there, but then they only had permits for this. So then they went over there. See what I'm saying? It's going to have problems, but his innocent is not certain there, if that makes sense. Yeah. Ongoing requires endurance. Yeah, exactly. T-Barb. Cross doesn't have timing, but then it was Lilies, and Lilies is a long freaking time. It's winter. So, or the 30th of the month. We'll scratch the 30th of the month. That's 2 weeks away. That's not going to happen, you know? So that thing is going to endure. Let me see. Will Donald Trump be indicted by Washington? Oh, will Donald Trump be indicted for the insurrection? Because that would be federal, right? Let's see. Hold on. Will Donald Trump be indicted for the insurrection? Will Donald Trump be indicted for inciting an insurrection? Will Donald Trump be indicted for causing an insurrection? Will Donald Trump be indicted for inciting the insurrection? Will Donald Trump be indicted? Will Donald Trump be indicted for inciting the insurrection? Will Donald Trump be indicted for inciting the insurrection? Yep. And it's going to be ongoing, and they're going to argue about his innocence. He's not innocent. He's not innocent here. It's going to be new arguments, and his innocence is going to be challenged. Yes, this is going to stick, but it's going to stick, and it's going to be ongoing. For Clarence, what's going to happen in the courts, according to the grand tableau that we discussed earlier, I don't know if you were here for that portion of the read. So you may want to catch it on the replay. He's going to be stuck in court for a long time, which fits his MO perfectly. Delay. He's going to be dead before he sees any justice. is basically what I'm starting to think. That mofo is going to be 6 feet under. And I don't think he will ever face justice. That's just my personal opinion. But the grand tableau from the 8th of this month shows that he's stuck in court fighting. Yep, it's going to be a long time until Trump starts the clock on years of appeal. Exactly. That's his MO. He's done it his entire life. He learned it from Roy Cohn. That's all he does. Yes, his innocence is going to be challenged. I don't think for Teresa T. Barb. I really don't. This is just my opinion. This is nothing on the cards. It's just me. This disgusting excuse of a human being has been this way his entire life. His entire life. He has ruined people's lives his entire life. Not once has he suffered. Because you know why? He goes out and does a few rails of cocaine. He'll go out and golf. He'll go out and bang some porn stars. He does not care at all. At all. At all. At all. And it's one of those things that really makes me angry because it's like, you know, there's this whole thing with karma and this belief in karma and, you know, universal law of right and wrong, and you reap what you sow. And then you see sons of bitches like that and you're like, what the F, man? I, as much as even think something bad, and it's freaking instant for my ass. And then I see people like him that have just, there is literally a pile of bodies of people whose lives he's ruined. And nothing, barely a slap on the hand. He just got cops killed at an insurrection, and the Republicans, the most heinous act in our history of our country, and the Republicans twisted themselves into a pretzel to give him just that much to get out so that now he can start the clock with fighting with the courts. That's the sort of shit that pisses me off. You know, like, we want to see justice now. You know, because I don't understand why there was a black woman in jail for 5 years because she voted after she had gotten out of prison and didn't know that she had lost her right to vote. That woman is serving years in prison. Meanwhile, Donald Trump just incited an insurrection against his own government, and we cool. That's nothing. If he would have been black, if he would have been Hispanic, if he would have been any other color than an orange, nasty white man, he would have had his ass locked up decades ago. The COVID deaths, CG, 400 and something thousand dead when he left office. Think about that pile. And nothing at all. And I don't want to sit here, because my mind is so small, to sit here and think about, well, it'll happen in his next life. I'm not God. I don't know what the universe has in store for him. I don't know if he'll pay it back in his next life or 600 lifetimes after that. Or if it will take him 600 lifetimes to undo this. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's where I struggle with my understanding of what I believe in my faith and whatever it is, because it is so incomprehensible to me, you know, that you can be such a terrible human being and nothing happens, nothing at all. And I take no comfort in it and thinking, well, karma will get him. Fuck karma. I want to see it now. You know what I mean? And maybe there is no such thing as karma. Maybe this whole idea of right and wrong and justice and setting things back into balance is just some man-made idea that we have to comfort ourselves. I struggle with that stuff, and because I see stuff like this and the mass injustice, and it makes my blood boil, because there's so many extremely good people out there, and there's people like Trump who can stick his freaking nasty ass syphilis freaking herpes infected dick in the eye of God himself, and he will get a slap on the hand, So sorry to go off on a rant, but it's just like, that's what I struggle with, and it's this whole, well, in the universe's time and God's time, well, God damn it, give me a sign. You know what I mean? Like, it's I just don't understand. I don't understand. And it hurts my heart very deeply to see, stuff like this happen. Like, it makes me question, like, is there really a God? Is there really some universal balance of right and wrong to any of this stuff? Because it's like, I don't see it. And he's just one example. This is worldwide. He's not the only person. He's not the only Trump out there. There's many more out there in this world right now, and so I need to get myself squared with that, because I'm not judge, juror, and executioner. I would love to be, because I'd have a whole bunch of heads on pikes, but that's not me. I'm just a person, so I don't get it. Yeah, Hitler got away with it too. He got away with it too, and he killed millions. I don't, I don't know. I would hope and pray. That we'll see some sort of justice, Yeah, he's alone in Mar-a-Lago, and he's surrounding himself with aides and sycophants that'll kiss his ass and make him feel better. But to me, that's not justice. To me, that's not suffering, So, and I'm sorry to be such a drag, but that's just how I feel, and it makes me wonder, like, when are we as a species going to get our shit together, but so I'm going to do one more read, and I'm going to get off of here because I just went down the rabbit hole of festivities. And I don't want to be such a downer. I think we're all kind of in that space today. Thank you, GP. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, man. So I'm going to end it with one last final read. Oh, and then tomorrow, we'll be on my channel. I posted on the community page for questions. But you guys know how we do, so we probably won't get up to all the questions tomorrow. So I will try to go live during the week to try to address the questions we didn't get to. So let me see. Let me ask this. No, T-Barb, it's kind of like, it's not so much when I say I lose faith, it's not faith in man or a person or a system or our rule of law. No, it's losing faith in something greater. And by greater, I mean the idea that I've always had about this universal law, that's what I question quite a bit. And it's not just because of Trump, it's because of other things too. You know, like, you know, if there was really a God that was all loving and all this stuff, why is there so much pain and suffering and starvation and just these horrible things? You know, is earth hell? You know what I mean? Are we living in hell? You know, like stuff like that. If you could be inside my brain, you'd probably go crazy, because I think of all sorts of weird stuff, just trying to make sense of things, you know? So that's a good point, John Paul. John Paul is saying maybe it's a lesson, though, not for us, but for the future. Maybe. So let's see. I'm going to try to leave it on a positive note here. And try to turn this boat around without getting us stuck into the... Let me see. How about what can we do to help us? Okay, hold on. Trying to figure out how to word this correctly. Oh, Martha, I've thought about that a bazillion times. I'm like, is this the Matrix or is this hell? Let me see. How can I do this? I wanted to ask something along the lines of, let me see. What can we do to kind of sort of I don't want to say stay positive, because that's such fluffy bullshit. I can't. And I don't want to say faith, because that's so I guess what I'm trying to ask is how do we, what I wanted to ask the tiles was, how do we I don't want to say cope either. Okay, I'll do it this way. Let me see. I'll do it this way, just very general. What is the best course of action for us at this time? Okay, how should we process all of this stuff that happened today? How should we process? How should we reconcile everything that has happened today? How can we reconcile the events of today? How can we reconcile the events of today? Damn you, nice little bastards. Stop worrying about him. Worry comes to an end about this man. Forget him. Stay positive. Well, that's some bullshit. Thank you, you bastards. Oh my God. Smart ass tiles, huh? Okay, let's do one more. Let's see. Let's see. Why are you getting sassy with me? Let's ask. Why are you getting sassy with me? There's me. Having fun. Having fun on the internet. It's a good laugh here. Mm-hmm. Cards are being sassy because it wants me to laugh about a decision here and go on a new path. Get separated, get cut off from stuff and go on a new path. Well, thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, the towels were giving me a petty boots answer, Tres Leche. That's that little knock on the head. Were you guys there yesterday when we were demoing the well, I know most of you were, when we were demoing the charm mat for Karen. For those of you that are interested in that, she does have a kit available that's how I got mine, in her Etsy shop for Karen. There is she has a kit that comes with the mat and charms. Okay. Because I didn't know that when I had ordered mine, I ordered the mat and then I ordered the charms. And then after I hit the order button, I went back and I was like, oh crap, she has a kit that has the charms with the mat, so I screwed that up when I first ordered. So be mindful of that. But when we were demoing that yesterday and I was, when we did that thing, I was like, well, I was just going to talk to my parole officer and ask him to tell me about himself. And it was quite funny how he showed up, So for those of you guys that do have the charm and the mat, if you ever want to sit down and talk to those that are with you or those that are there to guide you, whether it be family, give it a go. Give it a go. It's a lot of fun. And it's a good way to distress. I was talking to my parole officer all day. And when I say parole officer, I have not been to jail. That's just the name that I use for spirit. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there because my towels are being petty and it needed to slap me upside the head. Like Karen was saying yesterday, that I have my guide is on my ass and will kick my ass. And he's very by the book. Okay. So I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for letting me go over the reads that I had done, where I made errors, where I made mistakes. For anybody that's studying as well, perhaps you could learn something from that, from my mistakes. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. I hope to have Karen back on again sometime soon. I'm not sure when. She is in Australia and she's quite the busy lady. But she's just a breath of fresh air, and she's a fountain of information. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And I will see you, lovely, beautiful people, tomorrow for the show, and it'll be on my channel with Jenny and Johnny. Okay. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a great evening. Okay. Bye.